Hello everyone, this is Vinnieart. This is another master class. Today I think we're going to be drawing some feet. So before I get into it, want to give a quick plug to my newest comic book, Shadow of the Kraken, which is available right now on Indiegogo. This is in demand at the moment, and I am currently working on a bunch of pages. More than half this book is completed. I'm getting a ton of work done on it, and it's going to be one hell of a great adventure. So if you guys want to jump in on this one, it is more of a traditional pirate story, and then I kind of get a little bit into supernatural stuff a little bit later into the series. But I wanted to make this a little bit more kind of real world based. So I have some historical accuracies that are going to be in this. Some stuff that kind of went down during that time, but that's kind of just like backstory, so people kind of, again, it feels more tangible, a little bit more real. And then I do have very fantastical moments. Very big things happen in this book. So please check that out. I'm going to put the link in the descriptions. But so today we are going to get into drawing the feet. And I did have a sketch I kind of worked out beforehand, just a really rough one, because I wanted to kind of break this down for everybody. What I had done with the leg segment, I broke down the foot in these sections, which I'll show you real quick here. So I had it kind of like in these three parts. So these areas right here, and I'll show you kind of like, again, because now we're getting into it finally. So I'll show you how it really works, and well, the way that I think about it anyway when I'm drawing. So let me go on this layer. So what we're thinking about is like the main part of the foot is kind of this area here. This is kind of what I think about when I'm drawing. Then you have obviously the heel and the toes. So again, the shape that we're looking at is something along these lines, and there is an arch in the foot, but the skeleton itself has more of that. When you put like the tendons, the muscles, and the fatty parts of the foot, you'll just have like that arch in the inner part a little bit, like towards like this palm section of the foot. It'll go in a bit, but like I said, the way that the heels are, you just kind of tack it in there, and then the toes for the front part. So like I said, this is sort of the shape that we're dealing with in here. Another good example too, or something I want to break down for you guys, would be like the hinge elements of like the ankle and all that. Remember, since on this example we're showing the outside of the foot, so the outside ankle is always lower than the inside part. But think of it like there's a hinge in here. We'll do like a tube kind of shape, and then obviously you're gonna have the part of the leg that goes upward into this section. So think along those terms, and then let's say if this was like a figure or something, that there's a pin in here. So that's how you're going to get the rocking back and forth of the foot. So like from this part, you'll have like a pin section. But that's just a way of thinking about it. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into the actual foot and all that. But that's just something that I want to break down a little bit for you guys. But again, it's all about shapes. And again, since we are talking about it, it's sort of this triangle type shape. And the thing you got to remember, like with the feet, with the toes, so we'll have like the knuckles of the foot are around this area here. And then you got to remember, much like the hand and the fingers, we'll have those bends. So, this I'll do a top shot for you guys. So when we're thinking about the foot, this is the kind of shape that we're thinking about, you know. And if the toe is going to be up here, the toes kind of, they taper, you know. So again, like that's that front section. Then this would be like the palm of the foot, or the hand if you're thinking about it like that. You know, this is where like that kind of more empty space would be, and then the heel. So you got to think of it in terms of that kind of deal, you know. But yeah, so like I said, so you're gonna have the joints of the toes are gonna be like in that kind of pattern as well. And then, like I said, it goes into the bigger knuckles of the foot, because this is where it hinges. When you see like ballet dancers and stuff, you're gonna see like how the weight redistributes from the body. But yeah, so let me just get the toes in here real quick. That's kind of what we're thinking about. But much like the thumb on your hand, you're only gonna have like 2 joints instead of the 3 that come from the knuckle. So again, like what we're talking about, maybe I'll do it in a different color. The toes. So like these are the sections where it's going to start to, like I said, bend in, where you have the other little joints and knuckles. But with the toe, yeah, it's a little bit bigger, it's longer, but you're not going to have all of that. Let me grab a different color. So this is kind of what we're thinking about. And we'll grab another color, and then here are the toes. So think about it in those kind of sections, and again, where you're gonna have the bends in it and all that good stuff. And like I said, here's like the knuckles or the joints of the toe. Well, from the angle I have, this overlaps a bit, but you get the idea. There's the one for the big toe, and then the other 4. So that's kind of what you got to think about. And then yeah, in the foot itself, like I said, you have that arch kind of shape, and then like all the tendons kind of pull upward from here. So like if we were going to think about, actually I could show again like where the knuckle's going to be of the foot here. Grab that other color. Yeah, like this section. That's kind of how it goes. But all right. So what I was going to show over here is, like if we were looking at the skeleton, let's say the foot is arched up like like that leg example, the one that's over here. If we're thinking about something like that, I'll try to break down, like I said, the skeleton itself. But once again, just think about, like I told you, those sections of the foot. So the ankle's in here. But we have that angle. So let's say the joints in the foot are in there. just going to erase this a little bit so you get a better idea of it. Like I said, we go with the shapes first, and then, like, since that's the joint, and we're thinking about, again, the understructure, which is the skeleton of the foot, because we got lots of little bones and stuff in the foot. But when we're thinking about, like, those main parts of it, this is kind of what it looks like. And then again, like this, if this section right here is where the main knuckle is of the toes, remember we have two big ones for the big toe, and then we have, when we start to get to the other ones, there are smaller sections. So you're gonna have three. So you have that, again, the longer bone. Let me erase this a little bit. So you have the longer one, the smaller one. Because the toes they go into like a pointy shape, but yeah, this is what you need to be thinking about. So, like, I show the understructure of all this stuff, it's so you have a better idea and a better understanding of how it kind of all comes together. And then since it does taper in that direction, that's what you should be thinking about right now. You know, and those bones. Like I said, this part, it's not super necessary to get in depth with it, but this is kind of what we need to be thinking about, because if we were to get more heavily into it, you know, there's lots of overlapping bones and stuff like that. If you want to get into it, if you want to be drawing skeletons and all that, yeah, get an anatomy book, kind of break it down and learn how it goes, but that's kind of like the shape that we're thinking about, we're talking about. So, like, if we were gonna let me add another layer because I drew this one on the wrong layer. Yeah, so let me grab color here. So if you were gonna start again to draw in the rest of the foot, I'm gonna put like the flesh on top of it. You know, this is what we're talking about. So yeah, these are the things you need to think about when breaking down the feet. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something else I could kind of show you if you guys still aren't understanding it as well. But again, it's a little bit more simple lines of what we have to think about. Simple lines and structure, how it all works. We do have the one example of the toes there, so maybe I'll do another one where we'll show like the toes spreading. So again, if we're thinking about the foot, this is from the underside. Well, this will be like a right foot, you know. So we'll go with the main shape of it, and then we'll add the toes in. Let's say the toes are kind of, you know, doing some funky stuff. And sort of like the thumb, you have like that arrow shape for like the big toe. And then, since these toes kind of arch outward, and the tips, the toes themselves, since they go very bulbish around, think about that. Again, they might seem a little bit longer, but that's just, you know, how it goes. And people do have different shaped toes. Some people have like that middle toe is really long. Other people have it more short. Yeah, feet are a little bit different than hands on in terms of that. But you know, it kind of is what it is. And remember, it's the bulbous shape. And then if we're thinking about too, like the skin, because we also have that web deal going on. Like the fingers, you have it in the toes. So like this is the web section in here. So that's just something to keep in mind when we're doing this. And again, I'm just going a little bit more loose with this. Just to kind of give you an example of, you know, a foot a little bit more spread, or the toes slightly spread. Yeah, it's kind of exaggerated, but it's okay. Like I said, we're breaking down just the shape of it all. But yeah, I hope this helps a lot of people. Like I said, we're doing a lot of different things here with these lessons. And I want to give people a slightly better understanding of how it all works, and then how you can put it together yourself, and get, you know, some of the better drawings that you could think about. And remember, yeah, if we go from the tip of the big toe and we go towards the heel, it is kind of like this S shape you got to think about, because then, like I said, the way that we are and we're built, it's sort of like an empty space in here a little bit, or like that's where the arch is rather. So yeah, that's the kind of thing you need to be thinking about when it comes to drawing feet. But yeah, I don't think it's overly complicated. Again, if you have some working knowledge, if you're watching this because you are an artist and you just want to get a little bit some things down a little bit better, hopefully that this helps a lot. But yeah, just think in terms of that, and I think you should be pretty good. So again, I will be doing a master class session, which is my live streams, where I'll break down some more stuff. We'll get more into this. Maybe we'll do, you know, better examples and show you how the legs, the feet, they all kind of come together in, you know, a more sexy drawing. We'll think more in terms of, like, you know, stuff for commercial art rather than doing these tedious breakdowns and, you know, getting into the muscles and the bones and all that stuff. I'll do something that's a little bit more, you know, again, in terms of comic book artwork, and, you know, it might be things like that you're thinking about or that you want to see. And yeah, we'll cover that a little bit more in the live streams. But yeah, once again, think about shapes when it comes to all this stuff. You know, the simplest ones are what's going to get you there. So like here, this is kind of the shape we're thinking about, and then like the toes, you could put, remember they taper, so they're kind of in this pattern. Let's say the toes are together. That's what we're thinking about right now. It's this shape, that kind of thing. But yeah, remember everybody, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for notifications. I'm going to be doing more tutorials, live streams. We'll talk to other creators as well. There's a number of really great independent artists and creators out there that are doing crowdfunding as well. So as always, I do showcase them along with myself, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot more fun with all this stuff. So yeah, until later today, because yeah, I'll be doing the stream today. Yeah, everyone have a great one. Yeah, be kind to one another, but kick ass while you create.